We welcome you to Leichhardt Oval for the first time this season in our Monday night football series. In tonight's clash, we see home team Balmain up against the Penrith Panthers. Now, for all the information on tonight's teams, let's first look at Ben.
From fullback, Gary Jack, Peter Davies, Ross Conlon, Gavin Hanrahan, John Davidson, the halves of Gary Schofield and Scott. The forwards led by Wayne Pearce in the lock position, David Brooks, Paul Sirinen, Big Steve Roach back in the first grade lineup, John Owens and Kerry Hemsley. Naturally, everybody will be keeping their eyes on, as I said, making his welcome return to the first grade side, but also keep your eyes out for Paul Sirinen. Bill Anderson has given him another chance to try and cement his place back in the forwards for the all-important semi-final clashes. Well, that's Balmain. Let's take a look at Penrith, and here's David Fordham.
Well, thank you, Graham. The Panthers are, in fact, as per program. The team is Rob Robards, Brett Lobb, Cole Bentley, Mark Bevan and Glenn Nissen, Greg Clements and Doug Delaney, the halves. The forwards are Vandervoort, Horton and Cup, Paul Acker, the 10 top forwards, and the team will led by their captain and hooker, Roy Simmons. Well, very little is left in the 1987 season for the Penrith Panthers. In fact, their main problem could be nuisance value to this 87 premiership. Yesterday, we saw Illawarra pose a big problem to Manly Warringah, but Manly got out of that. In fact, secure the minor premiership for season 1987, and a man that played a big part in that Manly win is the man that will join us for sideline comments tonight, Noel Cleal. Well, Illawarra nearly did it to Manly yesterday, Crusher. Can Penrith do it tonight to Balmain?
I think so, Dave. They're a very spoiling side, and with Roy Simmons as captain, you know, I've got the greatest regard for him, so I think they can really put, although that Balmain have a better side on paper, but the game's not won in the program, is it?
Well, we're seeing the Balmain side coming back to nearly full strength. A great battle now for positions in the forwards as they look towards the semi-finals. We obviously can expect some big games from your Kangaroo touring partners, Steve Roach and Paul Sirinen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how big Roachy goes, but I suppose he's lucky. It's a pretty cool night here, so his condition shouldn't wander too much. But, you know, although the Penrith pack's pretty inexperienced there, I think they'll still, you know, they'll make them work hard to get a win.
OK, we look forward to your comments on the sideline tonight.
Thanks, Doug.
Noel Cleal, and as Noel mentioned, it is a very cold and wintry night here at Leichhardt Oval. Of course, Noel is a production assistant here with Channel 10. He'll be blanketed on the sideline while his workmates run round to bring you the coverage when we return on the other side of this break.
Monday night
Leichhardt Oval, the venue, a gale force breeze blowing down from the southeast. It's really crumbing in, and Penrith are going to have the benefit of it in the opening stanza. Balmain kicking into it. Conlon gets the first ball away. And the referee in today's match, or this evening's match, is Mr. Annesley, Graham Annesley. I'd imagine the kicking game will be on very, very early from Penrith. It'd be absolutely stupid to ignore a breeze of such dimensions. Simmons at dummy half. Out to Ackley, who's a late replacement in the game. He's come in for one of the players there, Goodwin, Matt Goodwin. Now, penalty against the Balmain side for infringement in the 5. And this, I don't know who's going to do the line kicking as yet, but he should be able to aim fair way downfield.
Well, there's the man looking on himself, Greg Alexander. He would have been involved with the kicking game. Greg Clements with the duties from general play and also from the penalty situations.
Now Simmons under Batanza. Not a bad running forward, this player. He's got the ability to offload. Joe Batanza. Simmons up the blind side. They attack. Little Delaney. Well, that's got to be a penalty, surely. Yes, ridiculous work by Schofield. Showed complete lack of knowledge of the rules to tackle the player in the field of play and carry on with it.
Absolutely no argument there. Crazy decision there by Schofield to try and drag him across the sideline, and a shot at goal from Mark Bevan. He was asked the question from the halfway line by his skipper, Royce Simmons, if he wanted to have a kick from the last one. I'm quite sure in the second half, as we turn around with the Tigers and that breeze at their backs, you'll see Ross Conlon certainly not turning down any attempts on the halfway or even 5 or 10 metres into his own side.
Well, so strong is this breeze here that I suggest he'll be aiming outside the right-hand upright by maybe 3 or 4 metres, because the power's going to go off as soon as the pace goes off the kick. It'll come away. It'll blow backwards. Now, unless I'm completely wrong, that's what will happen. Anyway, we shall see. He's 3 metres outside the quarter, a metre in from the sideline, and here he goes. Bevan. Well, it's a miserable kick. Hooked it, didn't even kick it dead. Scott Gale's got it. and is busted out to the 10-metre line. Good run from Gale. Owens on to Sirinen. Sirinen's going, he's gone. Got a pass away, it went to ground. I think Penrith have come up with it, they have. Looks like Brett Lobb fell on that. Moving it out along their line to Ackery. Out there to Cartwright. Cartwright caught by one leg. So Batanza receiving treatment down in the quarter. Van der Voot. Belted backwards. Good defence by Sirinen again. Simmons. Delaney. Only a tiny little player, this fellow, but an enormous rap on him from the Penrith club. Clements, kick over the top, will be taken by Davidson, drops it. The ball's there for anybody, but Davidson gets to it very quickly again and stop the dregs.
Good early pressure from Penrith, good kicking game. They've been looking for touch and finding it consistently, and now the little chip just to vary that kicking game, and good chasing from their outside backs. They've got a good balanced pack in tonight, Penrith, and whilst Greg Alexander's missing the danger men of Van der Voort, Houghton and John Cartwright, a good back three.
Clements on there to Bentley. We've got the play into Balmain's quarter. Van der Voot. Dutch origin. Simmons. Cleverly throwing dummies there, retained the ball himself and went through. Ackery was Batanza was tackled on suspicion. Clements, little grubber kick. The chase is on, Robards is flying for it, and Gale has to hasten, dive and knock it over the dead ball line. Good work from Penrith, keeping the pressure on, and they'll get the ball back.
Making no mistakes, Penrith with this solid breeze at their backs, and again another variation. Clements along the ground this time, and only the pace of Scotty Gale tidying the situation up, and Balmain really having to pull out the big ones here to stop the points from going on the board.
Great play by Gary Jack, just brought the play out from 10 metres outside his line to beyond the quarter. Elusive running, changed direction, it was very good to watch. Now to Gale, Gale on to Hemsley, Hemsley's plowing forward. About 17 metres from the halfway line. Gale, cut out pass, out to Pearce, Pearce has broken a tackle, gets up, continues on over the halfway, it's a long run from Pearce, gets it to Schofield, Schofield sprinting, he's going to be caught from behind by Glenn Nissan. I told you that lad had pace. Now they've got it on a string out here, Balmain. There's Scott Gale trying to go up there. Oh, and Schofield couldn't accept the return pass. And now there's another intercepted pass, and it's been taken by Balmain, but the penalty's been awarded. Pass off the ground. See it again.
There's the incident. The ball was coming back inside here from Scott Gale, right under the black dot. Beautiful pass served up to Schofield, and he just couldn't control it. Penrith took the play on, and John Cartwright trying to get the ball off the ground. And 2 points to get us underway for the scoring from right in front here for Ross Conlon.
Well, it looked odds on a try there. Gale turned, Schofield was there. The pass went slightly too hard, and that was the end of the section. Actually, Penrith have hung on pretty well. They've been stretched all through this match. They've hung on pretty well. Now, the inexplicable can happen in rugby league. The team that's running into a Gale can play very solid football. Happens on a weekly basis here in Sydney. We talk about the win. Here's Conlon. Well, he's got success with his first kick. It was only a very easy kick. Balmain 2, Penrith 0. And we come back, Balmain leading 2 points to 0. We've got a Balmain player down injured at the moment. Roach has got hold of a Penrith player. And there was a funny one, Glenn Nissan. The ball bounced behind him and he didn't know where it was. Turned and looked around, couldn't see it. Anyway, he's been put out heavily by, I think, Pearce. But we've got a player being treated there at the moment. Identify that one for us, David William, and also have a bit of a chat with Crusher about what he would do in this situation.
Well, Peter Davis, the man that's been injured for the Balmain side, he's back to his feet now, which is a good sign for the Tigers. But obviously that 2-point lead into this breeze, Crusher, is a bonus to the Balmain side, particularly with the goal-kicking skills of Ross Conlon to be looked forward to in the second half. But Penrith have had their opportunities, but just can't crack this very, very good defence.
Yeah, another thing is too, Dave, that the Balmain players are holding them down and tackles a little bit longer than what the Penrith are with Balmain, so it's allowing them to stand in tackles and hit the advantage line as well. So you know, with this breeze or not, they're in a bit of strife.
Some holes look like opening up here, though.
Okay, well, we'll come back to the action here with good stuff out there in the wing between Pearce and Davies. Now it's Gale. Gale props, goes forward, gets a pass away to Schofield up the middle of the ruck. A short, easy way. Owens a dummy half. Gale, Conlon, Sheridan. Sheridan pushes his man off. He's charging for the line, gets a pass away to Davidson, and Davidson's flown round and scored a try. That's first-class stuff from Sheridan, and I'm sure his coach would be very, very delighted at the return to form this player showing tonight. See it again.
Yes, Paul Sheridan getting nice and deep tonight. Here he is charging off Ross Conlon. Just too much strength out wide for the Penrith backs. And for a big man, look at him run, can't he stretch out? Matching it with pace with the outside backs, John Davidson, a much better finisher than he is given credit for in the Sydney Winfield Cup. And this try's been coming for some time. Only the last couple of passes have been falling down for Balmain. They've been making all the breaks up the middle and out wide. Wayne Pearce giving all sorts of problems for the Penrith Panthers, and this try just had to come. The Penrith side just can't keep hanging on. They've been kicking well from general play, but the sheer weight of possession now in the last 5 to 10 minutes starting to tell its tale, and big man like Sheridan's going to cause havoc out wide in the second half, as is the likes of Scotty Gale, because Penrith are just failing to put those first men down in the rucks.
Having a good look at the equation. And he couldn't solve that equation because the breeze was just a bit too difficult for him. Tended to hook the ball. So the score remains Balmain 6, Penrith 0. And we've had some pretty good football despite the low scoring. Balmain's try came from Davidson after good work from Sheridan, and Conlon's 1 goal from 2 attempts. Note, Bevans had 1 shot at goal, was unsuccessful. 6-0 Balmain lead. Setting up the play. Simmons, Delaney, throws the dummy. Only about 18 metres out from the line. Robards takes over as a forward in the ruck. That'll be a penalty to Penrith. Sheridan was standing behind him. He'd got to his feet very quickly, the Penrith player, and Sheridan tried to pull him back. See it again.
No argument here. 5 minutes gone in the second half, and Balmain leading by that 6 points to 0, but putting pressure on themselves. There he was trying to get away, quick play of the ball, tow the ball forward. Sheridan says, no, you don't. Now the chance for Penrith for the 2 points to get into the game.
Kick about 15 metres off centre. He's got it. So the score now is Balmain 6, Penrith 2. And that's apparently the way this Balmain side have approached the game. Pearce, a move work there. He's gone right round the side of the scrum, gets a pass back on the inside. It's the Gale. That's a beautiful try. That is a dream try. Laid on, a crack-on move, and absolutely beautiful. See it again, it's a beauty.
Former Rothmans medalist Wayne Pearce goes the blind. Beautiful combination here with Scotty Gale. He's had a superb game. A man that led by example in the first half, showing plenty of pace there. And Scotty Gale, nobody's going to catch him in a situation backing up there on the inside. They needed the spark to get them rolling in this second half. They started the first 7 minutes. Here, this last 40 minutes, really back on their heels, making mistakes and just waiting for things to happen. Well, Captain Wayne Pearce decided, I'm going to start this to roll for us. Away he went down the blind side, plenty of support from Scott Gale, back up on the inside. And now the pressure well and truly on Penrith, and the floodgates might just start to open.
Yes, it may well have taken that to get them back, their minds back on the job. Conlon now from directly in front. Kicks the goal, so Balmain 12, Penrith 2. And now for Penrith, the same, inside the 5. 12 points to 2, Balmain lead. And now we'll see Conlon's goal-kicking prowess from his own side of halfway. I'd say he's an odds-on certainty to kick the ball the distance and kick it dead. How would you like to have somebody like this in your team for goal kicking? I know Manly have got a couple of good goal kickers, Crusher and Michael O'Connor and Mel Cochran.
Yes, mate, we're lucky in that respect. On the same token, he's got a big beat, Ross Conlon, and I wouldn't have liked to have him for a father.
Crusher might have something to aim at there too.
He was a humorist of note, cricket repartee.
Thanks, Graham.
Been rehearsing that one for a while though, Rex.
Yeah,
He's just waited the opportunity.
I just fed it to him beautifully. Conlon kicks. He's kicked the goal. Didn't kick it dead, but he's kicked the goal. It's a beautiful goal. 14 points to 2. Balmain lead Penrith.
Next we've got Mark Carroll on the touchline, also big Mark Geyer in number 35 and Craig Connor. I believe that the two second-row forwards, Horton and Cartwright, are coming off, and also the lock forward Vandervoort. So we'll see a total restructure of the Penrith side as they go.
Lob's in for the try. It's a good try. We just caught that. But Brett Lobb took the pass, a long pass, and took it well and dived over, outdistanced the Balmain cover coming across, and it was a good one. See it again.
They've been threatening to get back into the game. Balmain really not making the most of their opportunities in the second half. Certainly caught out numbers-wise as the long ball went out to Brett Lobb, and over he goes. Gary Jack too late on the scene. But Balmain have had all the possession in the second half. Just the one try on the board for them in this second 40 minutes so far. And the long ball out to Lobb as he crashes over. And Balmain with a few worries on their mind if this kick goes over from out wide from Bevan. Gives them the opportunity of another try to maybe leave us with a drawn situation tonight. But good passing in the Penrith backline. They had the numbers. They drew their men perfectly. Copybook stuff out in the corner.
So Mark Bevan to take the kick and goal. The score at the moment is 14 points to 6. Well, it's a miserable kick. Very ordinary, as you saw. Nothing to describe there. So the score remains Balmain 14, Penrith 6. Well, they look all pumped up, Balmain, as if they've got plenty of football, good football in their mind. The kick downfield by Clements is taken nicely by Cameron. Stops, props, comes back the way he went. On to Gary Jack. He's running sideways and is treated as such. Owens. Here's a go for Schofield. He's right up the middle of the field. It's a good run. He's still going. Taken quite into the Penrith quarter. Scott Gale at dummy half. Cameron. Pearce. Pearce away to Sirinen. Sirinen out there to Davidson, and Davidson in for the try. That's the way Balmain hit back for the answer. No doubt about it. Good stuff.
They've certainly got the ability to pull it out when the pressure's on, and the pressure was on. Penrith climb back into the game, and Balmain, the messages were going out from Billy Anderson to lift their performance. Also Wayne Pearce doing plenty of screaming and shouting out there. He's led by example. Good pick off on the short blind here. Everybody just drew their man perfectly. Paul Sirinen. Well, he's been quiet in the second half, but he ran onto the Pearce pass here, drew the defensive Brett Lobb in, leaving that space there for John Davidson. And he knows how to finish the try. Diving over there in the corner, and Balmain back on the rails, and that change has been made in the Tiger lineup now. Sirinen, the man coming off, and Kevin Hardwick out there in 21.
Sirinen found the perfect advantage of giving and receiving and giving a good quick pass there. He did it in one motion. Davidson had a clear run to the line. If he'd laboured over giving the pass, the opportunity would have closed. 18 points to 6. Balmain lead Penrith. About 5 minutes to go. Coleman attempting the goal. He will aim to the right of the right-hand upright. Hey, look at it curl away. Gee whiz. The breeze really took that. So the score remains Balmain 18, Penrith 6. All down through Balmain's history. In the time that I've known them, they've always had good finishes on the flank. Very professional players. Here he is again, Davidson. Whee! Good back slam there. A little bit of a altercation, a little bit of head-butting, and now there's a punch going in. And they're still at it. Mark Carroll getting vitally concerned with him. Now Roach and Guy are having a push and shove. 10 minutes in the sin bin, so that sees the end of the section for both of them. Well, Davidson's got no chance of increasing his tally now. Owens, Schofield, held a pass up, got it to Coleman, back to Schofield. Got it then to Hardwick, who's found a roving commission and came through the middle. He's only about 8 metres out. So just they go right here at the moment. Balmain got an opportunity out there. Gary Jack. Pass went. Well, it's a try. I don't see who the pass went to. I think we'll have to see, wait and see. It ricocheted off Scott Gale. Yeah, Scott Gale picked up the dregs and went in for a try. That came to him very curiously. See it again.
Steve Roach looking for the short ball here to Gary Jack. Jack in turn trying to unload the ball there to Ross Conlon. The referee waved that it was touched in flight by a Penrith man. Scotty Gale just waiting for the ball. They always had the numbers out wide. They couldn't get it there cleanly. Gary Jack being held up here. We can pick it up from this angle. Well, looking at from that side, looking as though it might have come off Conlon and gone forward, but Annesley ruling that Penrith touched the ball and straight into the hands of Scotty Gale.
And two Balmain players coming up with double try situations tonight. Scott Gale just scored his second. John Davidson scored 2. And they have been the try scorers for the Balmain side. Conlon will attempt the extras from just outside the quarter and about 4 metres in from the sideline. Away she goes and no goal. So the score remains Balmain 22, Penrith 6. That's the end of the section. The scorers for the Balmain side in 22 points. There were a couple of tries scored, 2 to Davidson. There were 2 to Gale, and the goals were kicked by Conlon. There it is, 3 goals to Conlon, 2 tries to Davidson and Gale, 1 try to Lobb for Penrith, and 1 goal to Bevan. So 22 points to 6. Balmain have defeated Penrith.